Sky is so high, if you don't know how to fly, aim feel easier to make you fly. Sky is so high, if you don't know how to fly, aim feel easier to make you fly. Here we go.
You saw the government agencies where he is supposed to go, formalities that he is supposed to do, like immigration, customs, this. On Monday, I'll be asking you, and I would like answer. Please read your notes, the notes that have been given to you, and I'll question you on that on Monday. I'm giving you 2 days weekend to study it properly. Um, we saw manifesting also. Um, and you have your soft copy, so you have all the notes there. We completed till page 20. So the first 20 pages I expect you to read and study all in short. You can tell me in short. Right from the first page where we said what is the definition of airport. What is duty-free, immigration, boarding gates, what are they called? I have given you some notes. So, not only the airline terminology, I've also given you definitions. So please see that you read all the definitions properly. Okay, got it? So now we'll start. Today we are starting from page 21 of your notes. Dispatch of traffic documents. Traffic, those who are in traffic, basically I'll read it to you and explain. On finalization, copies of passenger, cargo and mail manifests as well as general declaration of these must be separately put in special envelopes and then handed over to the chief cabin crew on board the aircraft. So traffic staff have to make 3-4 envelopes. In that what goes in it is the passenger manifest, details of all passengers, name, seat number, destination, special request, any, whatever. Cargo manifest, whatever in the aircraft cargo, the plane is carrying the cargo. There are details of each and every pallet. Pallet is where it is stored. Each and every pallet, what is where is given in the cargo manifest. As well as there is mail manifest. There's a lot of mail going on. Now in most of the countries, I mean all world over, we communicate with each other with email. But still there are certain documents we have to send, and the fastest way to send is by air, so you have mail envelopes also. On arrival of the aircraft at the next station, these envelopes are collected by the person on ground at the destination, and you have to hand over the envelopes. The most important paper being general declaration, which I spoke to you yesterday, that crew don't need visas, crew need general declaration signed by the pilot. That is your main copy which you have to hand over. Without that, the crew cannot get off at the airport. Without a general declaration, they will not be allowed outside the airport. So the content of the envelopes are as possible as just note it down. If you have the notes, you don't have to note it down. Passenger manifest envelope. The envelope, it's a brown packet with a P written on it, saying passenger manifest envelope. Cargo will have a C, mail will have an M. These are the papers, these are the last papers that come before the aircraft is released for takeoff. Post-departure process, after the flight has left, you have to make sure that all signals, messages are sent downline concern to the next station. Wherever the aircraft is going, you have to send all these copies by fax to the next person or to the next station, also telling them as to what is how many passengers are coming, what cargo is coming. We will be studying another topic later on in your syllabus, which is called dangerous goods, in short form DG. This is a special subject. Whenever you join the airline, whether you join as a cabin crew or join as a ground staff, traffic staff, you are going to have to give an exam on this DG. It's an open book exam, so you can see the answers, you can see the things and write. But you have to clear that exam. It is DG, is dangerous goods, is for all. Sometimes in the aircraft, we send goods from one place to another which are dangerous for our lives as well as the lives of the people who are handling it. It could be chemicals, it could be something of radiation, it could be, but these things have to go. So when the dangerous goods go from one place to another, the ground staff have to know, they have to inform the cabin crew and they have to inform all the next stations. Very important, because those people who are going to remove it from the aircraft, they also have to be very careful. So every information that you have has to go to the next station. Okay. Make sure that all traffic and accounting forms such as tickets, boarding pass, baggage tags are locked up and in safe custody. The third point, check for validity of flight coupons. That is not necessary. We do not have coupons anymore. Okay. Third and fourth point is not necessary because there is no more coupons left. It's all on the computer. Dispose cash, received tickets, excess baggage tickets issued with proper guidelines. File all the traffic documents and prepare necessary reports and logs as required. Logs means time logs. You have to time everything and you have to make reports on everything. Everybody makes reports, ground crew, everybody. You have to make reports. So this is your post-departure process. I will ask you on Monday what is the post-departure process, and you have to give me the point 1, 2 and the last point, or the last 2 points. Only the coupon ones are not valid anymore. Next we go to, yesterday I told you about no-show passenger. Can somebody tell me what is a no-show passenger? Shubham, can you tell me? What is a no-show? Who is a no? Not what? Who is a no-show passenger? Shubham has switched off his camera. Wow. Put your cameras on, please. Videos on, please. Can you put your cameras on, please? What? Okay, Umra, can you tell me what is the no-show passenger? No, forget. Didn't study, don't read, right? You have to read, you have to know this by heart. Snowmaker, am I pronouncing your name right? Snowmaker, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear.
Yeah. Can you tell me what's a no-show passenger? Anybody can tell me? I gave you notes on that, I think. Did you write it?
The one who failed to appear for...
Shubham, you ran away. Okay. I gave you notes yesterday. What's the no-show passenger? Can somebody tell me?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes. May I? May I? Yes.
Definite booking of passengers. Failing to definite booking of passengers. Failing to get to show the passengers.
Not failing to get to show. Failing to come for the flight. Failing to show up for the flight. Failing to show up for the flight means he has a definite booking. He does not come. So I gave you yesterday the definitions. You have to learn the definitions by heart. On Monday, I want everybody's definitions by heart. No-show passenger, I already have given you. What is the definition? Ashwin, can you read the definition that I gave you? If you don't read this, you're never going to learn it. You have to have it by heart, everything. If somebody says, oh, he's a no-show passenger, what are you going to say? Or what is the meaning of no-show? You have to know. These are simple one-liners. You can easily read it. Yeah, Ashwin, can you tell me what is the notes I've given you? I gave you yesterday. Did you copy it down? Yes or no?
No.
Veena? No? You didn't copy it?
Yes, ma'am.
Veena,
Yes, ma'am.
have you copied? Sorry, Ashwin?
Yes.
Someday the network issue, I didn't complete it. So it's,
Okay. Veena?
Yes, ma'am. A definite booking passenger who failed to show up for the flight.
Yeah, who fails to show up means he does not come for the flight. Then I gave you go-show passenger. What is a go-show passenger?
A passenger who has not held a confirmed seat and take a chance at the airport.
That means what is the meaning of it? You understood the meaning?
Yes, ma'am. Like he.
You know, in the train they have wait list.
Yes. Yes,
They
ma'am.
have wait list.
Yes.
It is the same thing. You buy your ticket, you're put on wait list. You tell the passenger that the flight is full, we are putting you on wait list. If there is a seat, if somebody drops out, we will take you. So he knows that he is not going to get a confirmed seat. He knows that only if a seat is available, he will get on board. Otherwise, he will not get a seat. So that is a go-show passenger who is on standby. Okay. Now, order of acceptance. If you don't have your notes, please write down. If you have your notes, it's fine. How many don't have the notes? Who doesn't have the notes?
I don't have no.
Can you tell me your name?
don't.
Ashwin, you don't have the notes?
No.
You don't have a PDF file given to you?
Yes, ma'am, that is.
Right now, those are the notes. Nobody can give you a hard copy right now at this time. So those are the notes you have to. That is why I am at page 20. I finished page 20 of airport management. You will get it later. So you have to follow till 20. We are done. We are now on page 21. So do you have that with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read it later because if you can't open your phone simultaneously, read it later. Okay. So order of acceptance. Which passengers we accept on a priority basis and which we don't. First order of acceptance. First is airline official traveling free on duty. When any airline official is going on duty, not on holiday, on duty, he is the first person we have to accept because without him, some work will be stuck somewhere. So that is there. Then second is revenue passengers. Revenue passengers. Third is discounted tickets with confirmed booking. Third is discounted tickets with confirmed booking. Fourth is discounted tickets subload basic status. Subload status. Now I'll tell you what it is. The first was airline official free on duty. Airline officials going from one place to another. Like today, if I'm working for an airline and I've been asked to go to Delhi for some work, I will be traveling free on that flight. But if I don't go, that work will be stuck. So they have to take me on that flight. What the company does is company books a seat for you, confirms a seat for you, so that that seat is not sold. Number two is revenue passengers, people who have paid money for the tickets. Third is discounted tickets but with confirmed booking, means that passenger, even if he has got a discount, he will still travel, he has a confirmed booking. And fourth is subload. Subload means subject to load. These are the free tickets that you will be getting and you will be traveling on. Every year you will be getting. They are called SOL tickets, subject to load. So SOL tickets are the last priority because they are free tickets. If you don't get on one flight, you can go on the next one. So it is not cancelled. You can travel anytime within 1 year. So those are the tickets that has the last order of acceptance. The next point is, in case of same boarding priority rating, higher boarding priority can be given to the first class passenger. After this, the priority goes to first class passenger. They will get a seat. Suppose the flight is first class is full and he wants to travel still. You can give him an option of traveling in business class, economy class, whatever he wishes. He will take it, or the choice of traveling on the next available flight. So he gets the first priority. In equal classes, suppose there are two people with equal class and you have only one seat. Who gets the priority? The one who's going to the furthermost destination. Flight is going from Bombay, Dubai, London. There is one person traveling to Dubai, one person traveling to London. You have only one seat. You will give it to the passenger who is traveling to London because there is more money there for the company. If both class and destination are equal, then priority should be determined. Revenue passengers or in order of their arrival at check-in counter. Suppose both are from economy class. Both have bought tickets, proper tickets, not discounted tickets, and both come to your counter. Then whoever comes first, serve him first, give him the seat first. That is the procedure. Certain passengers who require special handling, such as VIP, IP, UNM, invalid, person injured in aircraft accident, accompanying doctor or nurse or immediate family, may be given certain seats prior to check-in while carrying out editing work of passenger name list. You have an issue of seats. What happens is when the booking is done in the aircraft, in the airlines, if there are 200 seats, the airline books 225 seats. That's called overbooking. They do that generally because they have a margin that certain people will not travel. So they don't want the aircraft to go empty, so they do overbookings. Sometimes, most of the time there are cancellations, but sometimes what happens, all of them come. Now if all of them come, you have a problem because you have 200 seats and 225 people have come. Now what are you going to do? So in that time, you have to see a priority and you have to. The only option remains that you give them alternate flight, or you ask them whether they would like to travel another day. If you have an issue, your senior boss will sort out that problem for you. Next topic is handling procedure. Number 1, standby for lower class. In case lower class is full, that means economy class is full and only higher class is available like business class or like first class. In that time, what will you do? What will you do if the flight is full? There are still passengers for economy. Your club class is full and your first class is full, but your economy is not. I'm sorry, the other way around. Your first class is not full, your club class is not full, your economy is full. In that case, hold the standby passengers until the last minute. When the lower class becomes available due to no-show or cancellation, ask those people to wait. When there are no-show passengers, cancelled passengers, then take the other door. Sometimes we also upgrade. Upgrade means if the economy is full and we already have a lot of overbooking, then what the traffic staff does, they upgrade the passenger to the business class. But when we upgrade the passenger to the business class, we look at the profile of the person. He should be properly dressed. He should conduct himself well. If somebody is going to fight and argue and come in this thing, they don't take those passengers. They have a certain decorum for club class passenger. He should be well spoken, well groomed, well dressed. In that case, we choose the passengers and we upgrade them and put the remaining in their seat. Okay. Generally 99% to 100%, nobody is upgraded to first class. A business class passenger may be upgraded to first class in very rare circumstances. Economy to club class is done, but not club class to first class. I keep saying club class, and you probably don't understand sometimes. So just take down different names of business class. Just take down that, please. Different names of business class. Number 1, business class. Number 2, J class. J for Japan. J class. Number 3, executive class. Number 4, club class. Number 5, Marco Polo class. I'll spell it for you. MARCOPOLO. Marco Polo class. Into brackets, Cathay Pacific. Cathay Pacific calls it Marco Polo class. And the last is Raffles class. RAFFLES. Into brackets, Singapore Airlines. So I will repeat it for you. These are all the 6 names of business class. Business class, J class, J for Japan, executive class, club class, Marco Polo class, Raffles class. Raffles and Marco Polo is by Cathay and Singapore, and the remaining, the first 4 are used by any Indian airline. Okay, got it? I will ask you on Monday. Be sure of it. Stand by for a higher class. When a lower class is available and higher class is fully booked, take the following action. Withhold the okay. When first class, as I told you, first class is full and economy is light, we say full and light. Means there are seats available, we say light. That is airline terminology. So when first class is full and economy is light, or club class is light, we give the first class an option. Would you like to travel in the economy or business class? We don't try to put them in the economy. We try to put them one class lower in business class, whether they're willing to travel. If they're not willing to travel, then of course the next flight. Otherwise, so downgrading happens in first class and club class only with their permission. Okay. If it's a emergency, if it's a problem, the passenger will agree. If he's in a hurry to reach his destination, he will agree. Otherwise, he will not agree. If a passenger agrees to travel in lower class, accept him in lower class as involuntary downgrading. You will have to make a note. Involuntary downgrading means you had to do it. It was not within your jurisdiction, in accordance with carrier's issuance and adjustments of traffic documents. In the traffic documents, you will have to put in the first class. Even if you upgrade or you downgrade, you have to put it in the record that you downgrade. What is the reason? You upgraded. What is the reason? Okay. Non-revenue passengers, which we have, means non-revenue means no payment. Free tickets. It means free tickets. It also, another term for it is non-revenue, rebated, discounted, rebated tickets. Okay, that is free tickets. They are passengers who travel by the virtue of their profession related to aviation industry directly or indirectly. Who are the people who travel free? Our staff, our entire airline staff. Right from your ground staff, whoever is handling ground, any department, cabin crew, pilots, engineers, maintenance, the entire airline staff is given free tickets. So they are the ones who travel free. Apart from that, we also give free tickets to certain agents who sell our tickets. Travel agents who sell our tickets are given free tickets so that they are given as incentives so that they will bring more business for us. So these are the people. Apart from this, certain passengers are offered discounted through airlines various promotional and marketing schemes. For marketing and promotional schemes, people give free tickets also. We have another lot called frequent flyer. If you have heard of it, FFP, frequent flyer program it is called, and frequent flyer passenger. Any passenger who flies frequently on our airlines and is very loyal to us is also given points. Once he accumulates certain amount of points, he gets free ticket on that, a free holiday on that. So level of discount may vary from free. You may, when you join, you will get two types of tickets. You will get totally free, and you may get 90% off, 80% off, depending on the airline. 50% off, confirmed, not confirmed, depending on the airline. Discounted tickets are classified into two purposes. No subload or firm. This ticket is never confirmed. It's always availability based. If there is a seat, you will get it. You cannot confirm this seat. You have to go to the airport and try. If you don't get on that flight, you have to go on the next one. And subject to space. There should be space, subload. Next, we come to handling procedure. Form status, you know already. The confirmed status of the passenger means he is booked to travel on a particular flight. Subload status, now you know that it's a free, depending on the load. If there is space, you will get a seat, as no. If the reservation status is not tied through the destination, the passenger can. When you travel on free ticket, you have to ask them how many people are booked on the flight. Suppose there are 200 seats and 150 are booked. You have 50 seats vacant. You can utilize for the free ticket holders, because when you check in them, you will have a lot of people who come with free tickets, because at least 3,000-4,000 people get free tickets. At one time, at least there will be 10 people traveling. So they will all come, and so on first come first serve basis, you will take them on the free seats. Most of your cameras are off. Reservation status shows that seats are available only up to a certain point. sometimes it's a multi-leg flight, and it will show that it is only vacant for one particular sector. In that case, you have to tell the passenger that we can only take you up to Delhi, we cannot take you further. Are you okay to go? They will refuse because they all want to reach their destination. But generally, we take people right up to the final destination. I'm talking again of subload tickets, free tickets. Are you getting it, or is it too much information for you? Do you understand? Any questions? Yes or no? Why is everybody's cameras off? So one is your confirmed ticket, one is your SOL ticket subject to handling procedure with the next topic, departure station, baggage. You already know what you're supposed to do with the baggage. You have to put your seat number, your tag. If he is traveling to 2 destinations, if the flight is going stopover, you have to put, suppose it's going Bombay, London, New York, you have to put Bombay, London, London, New York. So directly to New York, the flight, when the loader see it, they'll see the flight is up to New York, they will not remove his bag. So passengers holding confirmed so after check-in, passengers cannot leave the transit area. Passengers holding confirmed reservations have to have a confirmed seat also. You have to give them a seat, confirmed seat. Checked baggage, I gave you the definition yesterday. Did you write it down? Do you all have the definition of checked baggage or registered baggage? I gave it yesterday. How many of you don't have it? Shubham, do you have it? You were there yesterday. Do you have it? Registered baggage, did you write it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you write it? Okay. What is the definition I gave you? What definition did?
For
registered baggage?
Baggage accepted for passengers on behalf of passengers and taken checked custody by the carrier for which identification tag is issued.
Okay. Did I give you unchecked baggage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then what did I give you after that? Free baggage allowance.
Free
Baggage. Allowance.
Paid baggage. Accompanied baggage. Accompanied baggage, I'm giving you the definition. Bags or suitcases belonging to a passenger who is traveling in the same plane. Accompanied baggage. Okay. Now you have unaccompanied baggage. Unaccompanied baggage. Passenger baggage sent separately as cargo and not as baggage accompanied by a passenger. and not as baggage accompanied by a passenger. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
I have already given you free baggage allowance. Did I give you that? Did I give you free baggage allowance? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Not given
No?
the definition.
Okay.
Not given the definition.
Write free baggage allowance. Write free baggage allowance. Weight of baggage allowed free. Weight of baggage allowed free by a carrier. Carrier spelling is this one. Carrier. Weight of baggage allowed free by a carrier. Full stop. The weight is indicated on the ticket by the airline. Did I give you, Veena, did I give you excess baggage definition?
Yes, ma'am. Bags in excess of free baggage allowance.
Okay. Baggage in excess of free baggage allowance. Did I give you the definition of baggage identification tag?
No, ma'am.
Right? Baggage. Baggage identification tag. Baggage identification tag means a document. It's not actually a document, it's just a tag, it's a paper. A document issued by a carrier only for identification of checked baggage. Okay, those are the definitions. I want all the definitions by heart on Monday. Issuance of boarding card, I've already given you. The boarding card details, you already know what is on the boarding card, so I'm not giving you again. Reporting group handling. Group travel compromises of passengers traveling in group of 10 or more people heading to the same destination, accompanied by an official group leader. So if there is a group of more than 10 people headed by a group leader or a tour leader, generally people going on tours, on holidays go in groups, and they are always with a group leader. The group leader coordinates for all the 10 people with you and with the cabin crew. In order to facilitate handling of group passengers, the following should be observed. Just listen. Pre-departure arrangement. Keep in contact with the sales department or the group handling agent. You have to keep in contact with him. You do not contact the 10 group. You only contact the tour leader. Obtain latest group information such as in advance, such as exact number of group and specific seating request. Okay, right? Group handling topic, right? Group handling. Number one, take it point wise. Number one, Coordinate with group leader. Number 1. Coordinate with group. Coordinate all arrangements with group leader. Make it coordinate all arrangements. Coordinate all arrangements with group leader. Number 1. Number 2. Keep in contact with group handling agent. Number 3. Obtain latest information. Obtain information in advance, such as exact number of group slash write this exact number of group slash seeking requests. Number 4. During pre-flight, means before boarding the flight. During pre-flight, PRE/flight. During pre-flight preparation, seat the group together, means keep the group together. Seat the group together. Number 5. Allot seats together on board. On board means inside the flight. Allot seats together on board. Number 6. Prepare necessary boarding card and baggage tags. Prepare necessary boarding card and baggage tag. Last, check in group passengers in advance and assign, I'm giving you the spelling, and assign a separate counter if possible. when the group is traveling together, their bags will also be tagged together, which yesterday I gave you the definition for pooled baggage. I gave you the definition for pooled baggage. So add one more point to that. When baggage is pooled, add to that. When baggage is pooled, enter the details of prices and weights, of pieces and weights, of pieces and weights in the ticket of the tour guide. Generally, the bags are pulled together and they come out together also. Tell me when it's One more point. Any passenger carrying excess baggage may be charged. Any excess baggage may be charged. So when the group check in, you can give all the boarding cards and the baggage tags to the group leader. He is the one who handles everything for them. You don't have to do it individually. If the baggage is overweight, then you can inform the tour guide and he will either ask them to remove the baggage or you can charge that particular person for the baggage. Okay? Boarding card, we have already done. Baggage claim. The area at the airport where you receive the bag after the flight has reached its destination is called the baggage claim area. Passenger has his own tag on his boarding card. He can go to the baggage claim area and he can take his bag. I will show you the picture for that, and in case any baggage is missing, he has to go to a baggage claim counter at the airport and report that his bag is missing. Handling of passengers getting off the flight. Ensure that the cabin steps or boarding bridges are positioned near the cabin doors. When the captain advises you to, orders you to open the doors, instructs you to open the doors. When you open the door, you have to stand there and make sure that the aero bridge is aligned properly. When the aero bridge, the person who aligns the aero bridge gives you a thumbs up, only then you allow the passengers to get off, so that no passenger falls down. Open cabin doors, and when the cabin doors are, the first person who you meet outside in the aero bridge is the ground personnel, one of us like this, and you have to hand over the papers. That's the first thing. The GD, the mail, the cargo, all the papers have to go to him. That's the first thing you have to do. um, fill all the reports before you get up, and priority for deplaning. There is a priority for um, boarding and deplaning also. Okay, so first you write priority for deplaning. Priority for deplaning. Number 1, passengers requiring emergency medical treatment. Passengers requiring emergency medical treatment. Number 2, VIPs and CIPs, VIP, CIP, SIP. Number 3, first class passengers. Number 4, executive class passengers, that is business class passengers. Number 3, economy class passengers. Next is economy class passengers, sorry. And after that, UNMs and wheelchairs. UNMs, UNMs and wheelchairs. What is UNM? One of you answer me. What's the full form of UNM?
Unaccompanied minor.
Minor. What is Veena? Tell me what's an unaccompanied minor?
Means the kids which are in between 5 and 12 years who travels alone.
Traveling alone. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Now write priority for complaining. Or use a simple word, priority for boarding. Priority for boarding. First, wheelchairs and UNMs. Sorry, before UNMs and wheelchair, write stretcher case if stretcher case whenever it is there. So first the stretcher will come, but priority for boarding will be from UNM. Stretcher is always loaded first. I think you cancel the stretcher case, just write UNM and wheelchair. Forget the stretcher case. Okay, so you have UNM and wheelchair. Then you have mothers with infants. Mothers with infants. Then economy class passengers. Economy class passengers after that. Then executive class passengers. After that, first class passengers. And last, VIPs, CIPs. So when boarding, the VIPs come last because you're not supposed to make them wait. First class and VIPs. And while getting off, first class and VIPs will get off first. That is the way to board and to deplane and emplane. Okay. Generally stretch and for boarding, okay, For deplaning, I've given you stretcher case, right? For deplaning first, in the first plot, I've given you stretcher case.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you just read that priority for deplaning? Shubham, read. Just read it.
Yes, sir. Passengers require emergency medical requirement.
Treatment.
Second,
Yeah.
VIP and CIP.
Okay.
Third, first class passengers.
Yeah.
Fourth, executive class passengers. Fifth,
Yes.
Economic class. And sixth, UNLs and wheelchair passengers.
Wheelchair. After that, write last stretcher passenger. Last for deplaning, stretcher passenger. Last, guidance and assistance. If local regulations permit, facilitate through entry by providing necessary people who are lost. Ask that you can guide them through formalities like immigration and customs. Assist passengers in baggage claim. When baggage is lost, one person is always there, airline person, to help people with their baggage, not to lift it, but to see if everybody gets their baggage. If it's lost, there has to be some airline personnel where they can come and tell you our baggage is lost. So you have to help them go and fill a form at the baggage claim counter. Also help people who are being transferred from domestic to international flights and international flights to domestic flights. You need to guide them there and give assistance, and help assist the crew members through government formalities, complete all government formalities, and resolve baggage claims. All these points are for assistance and guiding. We stop here at page 27. Okay, I have given airline phonetics to people who are already in my previous classes. These are words A, B, C, D, E, F, G, phonetics that you have learned in school. I for apple, B for. There are certain words you use in the airline. You do not use A for apple, B for ball. There are certain airline words you are supposed to use only that. When you give the passenger his PNR number, it has to be in this format only. Those who don't have it, I have written it down, copy it. Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
It's there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So A for alpha, B for beta, C for Charlie, D for Delta. Where I put a slash for J, you can use Japan and Juliet, both. Sierra and Sugar, both. There are only two R's in Sierra, not 3 R's. It's an error, so just correct that. Hello, Dan, let me know. Are you done? Yeah. Now we come to another topic, connection and transport. There are two types of connecting passengers that we have. One, this is a route of one of the passengers. This is how we write the country names in 3-letter words in all over the world. You have to learn all the country names and city names in 3-letter words, which we will be giving to you later. Here I have written BOM stands for Bombay, LON stands for London, NYC stands for New York, LAX stands for Los Angeles. These. Now passenger is going from Bombay to London to New York. Here the flight is going to end. Okay? Just listen right now. Don't write anything of this. Don't write anything of this. Passenger is going from Bombay to London to New York. Right. Okay? From New York, he has to change the plane and go to Los Angeles, because one plane cannot fly so long at a stretch. There will be a halt here and here and here. Now suppose he is traveling on, we'll take Air India, we'll call it in short form AI. Air India is taking from Bombay to New York, and from New York to Los Angeles is going to take United Airlines. So what happens, he has a connecting flight from New York to Los Angeles. Now this AI, suppose number is 101, Bombay, London. This is Bombay, London, New York, flight AI 101. We'll take United Airlines. It's going to take flight 470 United Airlines, New York to Los Angeles. Now he has to get off here at New York and he has to go into the next plane of United Airlines to reach Los Angeles. Do you understand that part? Yes or no? Okay. Now here in New York, you have to give him one tag for New York, Air India tag, and one tag for United Airlines. Some places he may get the tag in New York. Sometimes you have to give it to him. His baggage is tagged for New York because he is traveling by AI 101. He is going to transfer from New York to Los Angeles by United Airlines. So when he lands in New York, the staff there, Air India staff there, will direct him to the next counter and they will tell him, "Go, sir, please go to take your bags and go to the United Airlines counter." And United Airlines counter will keep his tag ready and will transfer him to their aircraft. Now sometimes he has to take his bag here in New York. Sometimes when the bag is tagged up to Los Angeles, you will tag it all throughout. He will get his bags directly in Los Angeles, but two numbers will reflect on his baggage tag, 101 and 470. So that the people in New York who remove the bags will know that they have to put this bag on United Airlines. They have to because his connection is United Airlines. So you have to guide passengers who have connecting flights further. It may not be on your airline, it may be on somebody's airline, or it may be on your airline if he has to change the aircraft. So, right point number. Yes, certainly. Tell me.
Ma'am, so that passenger will be getting two tags?
Yes, we'll be getting two tags from here. Okay. If you're taking his bag right up to Los Angeles, it will show, one tag will show AI 101 Bombay, New York. Second tag will show UA 470 LAX. Means it's going from New York to Los Angeles. Because United Airlines has many flights. It's going on the Los Angeles flight number 470. You will give him two tags. If you're checking him all the way to Los Angeles. If he is going to stay in New York for a couple of hours and then go, then maybe you will tag his bag only up to New York, and from New York, United Airlines, the airline staff will direct him to United Airlines counter and they will give him the next tag. It's also possible. Okay? Yeah. Depends on where his bag is tagged. If his bag is tagged directly to Los Angeles, you will be giving two tags. If it is only tagged till New York, you will be giving him one tag. The next tag he will get there. Understood? Okay.
Yes.
So we'll write, well, connections and transfers is your heading. Point number 1, check the PTM. Passenger Transfer Manifest into brackets. PTM, passenger. Learn to write like this for passenger. This is the short form for passenger. You don't have to write full form. PAX means passenger. You get used to it right from now. Passenger transfer manifest, and ensure that the numbers of passengers connecting to another flight of same carrier to another flight of same carrier or another carrier is tallying. TALLYING, tallying. Means you have to tally and see that your manifest and your passengers, you have to see that you have the correct number of passengers for those who are connecting to our flights and those who are connecting to another carrier, like the one I showed you. Now suppose this passenger is going to stay in New York. His next flight is, this flight is reaching in the night at 8 o'clock, New York time. In New York, there is no flight leaving for Los Angeles till next day in the morning. So what does passenger do? Whole night. Sometimes he sleeps at the airport. Sometimes he uses his own money to take a hotel room. Sometimes the airline puts him up on their cost for the night in a hotel. You see the hotels outside the airport, the transit hotels outside the airport, all the transit passengers are put there. So sometimes the airline spends money, their money, to put up the passenger for the night. So it depends. So if he is going to be put up for the night by us, we have to give him a voucher saying that the cost of the hotel will be borne by us. Okay, so point 2. Prepare PSV into brackets. Why aren't you writing, Ashwin? Passenger service voucher. I'm trying to give it to you in short because when you read the notes, you are going to be confused. So I'm trying to prepare PSV, passenger service voucher, or STPC. STPC, meaning into bracket, means layover at carrier cost, at our cost. Layover at carrier cost. Voucher on basis of information received. When his connection is immediate, he has reached New York at 5 o'clock in the evening, his connection is at 6 o'clock. He has just 1 hour to rush from one airline to another airline. Airports are huge, it takes a long time. So you have to make sure that he does not miss his next flight. Because if he misses his next flight, because of our mistake, we have to keep him for the night in the hotel till the next flight. So we are responsible. So we have to make sure that if the incoming flight is delayed and he loses this second flight, there is nothing we can do. We are responsible. We have to make sure he's on the next flight. Okay, so these are the 2 points for connection and transfer. Third point, when connection is immediate, expedite me, I'll give you the spelling, that means hurry up. Expedite the transfer of such passenger. Did I give you expedite spelling? Did you get it? Expedite means hurry up. These are your 3 points. If you have next to you, need not write. If you have the same day connection, only make sure that the passenger is quickly taken, his baggage is given to him, and he's quickly taken on the next flight so he doesn't miss his connection. They have meetings, they have important issues, they have to reach on time. You have to receive the passenger at the station, and sometimes there will be passengers coming the opposite way, they will be coming New York, London, Bombay. And from Bombay, suppose he wants to go to Goa, he wants to go to Jaipur. In that case, you should try and see at Bombay, quickly hurry him so that he does put him on the Go Air flight, Indigo flight to whichever he is going by. Make sure that he does not miss his connection. Very important. They get very upset when they miss their connection. So you also have to keep his boarding card, everything ready. Make sure that he's at the boarding gate at the right time. Now, Next topic, overnight connections. Overnight connections. Advise passenger of reservation, ground accommodation, and connecting procedure. So advise the passenger. Number 2, give him STPC voucher. That is, STPC voucher is one that we are responsible for his stay. STPC voucher. Number 3, direct him to the hotel representative wherever he is staying. In whichever hotel he is going to stay, that representative will be standing at the airport with a board. Hotel so and so, hotel so and so, so and so, and with the person's name. So please direct him to a hotel representative. If hotel does not come to pick him up, we have to make sure that we give him a cab to go to the airport, to the hotel. Obtain passenger's local contact number. Obtain passenger's local contact number. And last, make sure he comes for his connecting flight. Is informed and he comes for his connecting flight. The hotel generally informs him, but we have to inform him otherwise. Next topic, right? Passenger expense. Passenger expense borne by carrier. Number 1, hotel accommodation with meals. The passengers the expense that we will take care of, hotel accommodation with meals. Number 2, ground transfer charges. Number 3, transit airport tax. Number 3, transit airport tax. Transit, airport tax. Number 4, ground meals. Write an important note below. Expenses shall not be absorbed beyond 24 hours of passengers' arrival. Expenses will not be absorbed beyond 24 hours of passengers' arrival. Means beyond 24 hours he has to look after himself. If the passenger does not hold a confirmed ticket, if he holds a request ticket, means a standby ticket, in that case, the expenses will only be absorbed by the company up to the time of departure of the first flight. If he does not make it on the first flight and he has to make it on the later flights, the company will not take care of the charges. Okay. So this is one topic close for connecting flights. I wanted to show you something. So I will. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is called the aircraft hold, where the baggage goes. These are the trolleys which move the luggage up and take it this way. They are on wheels. These are called pallets. These are called pallets at the airport. Okay. So this is how the belly of the aircraft, all the luggage goes in there. It is temperature controlled. It's cool. It's very, very cold down there. You can control the temperature. As I said, dead bodies are carried here. Live animals are carried here. Vegetables, fruits, everything depends on the minute. So it is very, very chilled. So things remain in a good condition. These are all pallets. These are pallets which are moved up and go into this. As you see, this is the right hand side door, the last door from where the stretcher is taken. These are all right hand sided doors because loading, unloading, everything happens from the right hand side. From the left hand side, nothing happens except boarding of passengers. You can see all this loading and unloading. There are some doors which open upwards. These are cargo planes. These are not passenger planes. Their main door is only for the pilot and the co-pilot. These are cargo planes which the doors open outside and it is fully, it's written here cargo. Can you see that? Somebody answer me please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
who is this?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, one person stay on and answer. So these are the cargo flights. There will be no crew in this flight. There will be only baggage. Only baggage. Except there will be two crew here, the cockpit crew, and there will be one cabin crew to man this door. This is the left-hand side doors. Okay. I'll show you some more. This is a general door. This is your general door from inside, the window handle. This is the opening and locking system. There is a slide here which inflates in an emergency. This is an overwing exit that I was talking about. Your passengers are seated, so you have to brief these passengers. Also, the ground staff have to make sure that you do not, yesterday I spoke to you about that these seats are not to be released for anybody below 15 years, no mothers with children, no infants, no invalids. It is only for able-bodied passengers who can open this if need required. If only in an emergency, they have to be briefed that If the crew do not reach this place, they have to open this door. So these seats are to be allotted only to able-bodied passengers. This is called the overwing, which I showed you yesterday. Over the wing it is. Okay, got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This, this is a typical door again. These are the forward seats, again not to be released to minors and other things. This is a crew seat. Every crew is stationed at the door. At every door you will find crew seats. These are crew seats which are called jump seats because when you get up, it jumps and closes. So it's called a jump seat in airline terms. This is the demonstration, the oxygen seatbelt demonstrations. She's showing you the exits, how you can get out of the exits fast. This is the emergency slide. That is later on in when you study later on. That is, I have to show you something else. Anything else you all want to see? Generally, this is the layout of the aircraft. This is 300 A. There are two types of planes that we fly. One is Boeing, two companies. One is Boeing you have to know this, so you can write it if you wish. We have the Boeing company, which is in the United States, in Chicago, and Seattle, where they make the planes. And the second is Airbus, which is in France, in a place called Toulouse, Toulouse. Whenever the aircraft is made by Airbus company, they write an A. When it is made for the Boeing company, you will have B. This is the general layout. This is your entry. This is the cockpit. Green seats are the first class. You will have business class with a galley in the middle, serving both sides. You have a galley here for the first class, two galleys here for the first class. The orange, here is the door. Okay, this could also, I don't know whether they are different galleys. Business class is still here. There will be a partition here, and this is economy. We'll have two major cabins of economy. There will be a galley at the back and there will be a galley in the middle from where you will work. So this lot will serve this passengers, this lot will serve this passengers. The crew here will serve all these passengers. The walking area in the middle is the aisle. We call it the aisle in the terminology, both aisle. Any aircraft that has two aisles is called a wide-bodied aircraft. Any aircraft which has a single aisle, 3 seats here, 3 seats here, single middle aisle is called narrow-body aircraft. Did you understand? Somebody is going to answer me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Who's this? Is it Veena?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Veena, you keep answering me. I know at least that you are listening or you can hear me. Okay? So when people ask you what is a narrow-bodied aircraft and what is a wide-body aircraft, wide-body has two aisles, narrow-body has a single aisle. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Wide-body aircraft This is today, in today's day, this Airbus 380 is the biggest aircraft we fly. It takes about 500 to 800 passengers depending on the. We do not have a wide body, we do not have a 380 in India. We do not own one. The latest aircraft that we own is a 787, Boeing 787, as you can see. But this will have many aisles, probably. This, can you see this? This is a wide body aircraft, 2 aisles on both the sides. Can you all see that?
Yes, ma'am.
When it is a single aisle, this plane has two sections, one on top on the first floor, one here in the middle. These are exits, L1, left hand side, L1, L2, L3, L4. Under this line, you can see the aircraft is divided into 2 parts. Under this line, you will see baggage. Your passengers' windows, you have passengers here as well. This is what we had earlier. It was 747. The series are not flying anymore now because they are looking for eco-friendly vehicles which take less fuel and are lighter in body. So people have started using other planes. But 380 is the largest plane as of today. For your knowledge, you have to understand when people ask you about the airline, there are certain things which may not be in your book, this like narrow body, wide body, you have to understand. This is the area from inside. You can go up and you have another level on top. This is Airbus 380's interior. It is very, very big aircraft. Right now it's the biggest. We may probably have even Emirates has one, Singapore Airlines has one, so if you get a job in Emirates, I'm surely you will fly this aircraft. These are typically business seats, business class, where they are cut off from the rest of the people. You can see the rest of the people, but they are cut off, so you have these private This is your first class of Emirates. It's totally secluded. You don't see another passenger. In the night, bed is made. He has his own bathroom, windows, mood lighting for whatever mood, sleepy, watching movie, this, that. First, nowadays almost all aircraft are mood lighting. This is your meal. He has here all the equipment here. He has a bar here. He has all the phone, gadgets, everything, entertainment, everything inside. This is his all gadgets. He has a computer, his reading light, backrest, pillows. This will lift up and make into a bed. These. The Vitametric first class. This is how first class is. Okay. Business class is not totally secluded like the first class. You don't have to You don't see this passenger, but yeah, it's open. It's not closed, total closed bed like this. This is business class. If you're working in business class, you'll have about 30 passengers at least business class with a set of 3-4 crew handling all the business class. Look at the business class here. It's huge. You'll have many crew as well. This is how the business class is. This is your economy class. It's generally long, still with no partitions. You have screens at the back. The screens at the back of every seat for the next passenger, and it is open throughout. This is your economy class. Okay? It's different with economy classes. This is how it goes. Okay, did you get that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So back to now certain things we still have a little more time. We have finished till page 29. We did from 20 to 29 pages today. I want you all to please just go through it, read it, put your cameras on, please read it, and I will ask you some questions on it in the next class. I'll ask you on Monday, I'll give you time on Saturday and Sunday to read. So read, and I need to give you some short. We have about 10 minutes, so I will give you some short forms. I'm not giving you the short forms, I'm giving you some basic words that you need to learn in it. So just copy it. Normally don't go into that A, B, C, D columns that I've told you. We are going to go in. These are basically definitions, what I'm giving. Number 1, terminal building. Terminal building is the main building of the airport. In big cities, you just write main building of the airport. That's all. Main structure at the airport or main building at the airport. Terminal buildings in big cities like Delhi, Bombay, there may be more than one. Like in Mumbai, we have 2, in Delhi, so that is why it is named Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3. When a passenger books his ticket, he has to make sure which terminal the flight is going from. Whether it's going from Terminal 1, Terminal 2. Like if you go to London, you have 6 terminals. So they don't know where. So on your ticket will always be printed the terminal that you are supposed to go. So terminal building is this. You have separate terminals for domestic and international. Write that as well. Number 2, departure gate. Departure gate, where you enter in the airport. Departure gate and arrival gate. If you are, say, you have a friend who's come to pick you up, then you tell him the departure gates are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, arrival gates also. So you can tell your friend, meet me at departure gate 3 or meet me at arrival gate 3 and pick me up. So departure gates have numbers. Where the passenger goes is the check-in counter. You have to use this word, check-in counter. You have different counters, you can go to different counters. The bag that you give it to the airline personnel is called check-in baggage. Check-in baggage. Next is cargo hold, where baggage is stored. cabin baggage, what you take in your hand. Boarding pass, you already know what it is. So boarding pass is for you to enter into the aircraft. Security check is for the checking at the airport. Security check. Next word. See how I had spelled this word. Taxiing. T-A-X-I-I-N-G. There are two I's. This is a very rare word. Two I's. Taxiing. Movement of the definition. Movement of the aircraft on the ground on its own power. On its own power. I want this by hearted in the next slide. In the next class. Movement of the aircraft on ground on its own power. The shops inside the airport are called duty-free shops. Duty-free shops. Next word, boarding gate. The gate where you enter the aircraft. Boarding gate. Next word, holding area or waiting area. Same word, holding area or waiting area. Area before the boarding gate. Area near the boarding gate. Area near the boarding gate is called a waiting area or a holding area. Next word, board flight. B-O-A-R-D. Board flight means go into the aircraft. Board flight. Enter the aircraft. Am I too fast for you? Okay. The area inside the aircraft is called cabin. Cabin is the area inside the aircraft. Next word. Flight deck or cockpit. Flight deck is the right term for the airline, but you can say cockpit also, where the pilot operates. Where the pilot sits or pilot operates, whatever you can. Captain or pilot, head controls the whole aircraft, in charge of the whole aircraft, captain or pilot. He can be addressed as captain or pilot. Captain or pilot is first in command. Co-pilot or first officer is second in command. Co-pilot or first officer, second in command. Cabin crew, flight attendant, people who work in the aircraft. People who work in the aircraft. Traffic staff, people who work on ground. Different kinds of seats: window seat, middle seat, aisle seat. Window seat, middle seat, or proper name would be center seat. Lavatory or lab is for washrooms. Lab or lavatory. In-flight entertainment is the movies that are shown on in the aircraft. Next, galley is the kitchen of the flight. Last one, runway, where planes take off and land. I have to give you some more. I'll probably give it to you tomorrow or whenever your next class is. Just remind me to give you some more of them. I'll just mark what I have to give you. Okay? So learn properly, read, learn the words, use the right words. Phonetics, I want by heart ABCD. You will use that. I'll ask you tomorrow the phonetics. Okay, so that is there, and your short forms I'll be giving later because there are lots of them. So we have, because the airline operates only in short forms. So we will be doing short forms later in one class. Okay, goodbye. Have a nice day. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ah,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
bye bye.